Hello, today I'm going to be ruining your day. Ananta is one of the most anticipated big-budget ACG-style games coming out, and based on the current trailers and gameplay footage, I have a few thoughts about it. To put it bluntly, I am skeptical about this title. I'm skeptical that the game brings in a new style of gameplay or atmosphere. I'm skeptical that the day-to-day experience of playing the final release of the game is nowhere as close as polished and vibrant as what's being advertised. I think based on the footage I've seen, the game is running a huge PR stunt on delivering more than it can handle, and that the game offers little to no substance aside from the impressive visuals. Let me start by stating where I stand. The current version of the game is nowhere close to being finished. Even some of the gameplay footage shown looks pretty rough around the edges. In fact, I predict that the game will not even be released in 2026, or at the very least at the tail end of the year. It's going to be a while before we get any tangible release window for players to get their hands on this game. My opinions and thoughts are based on the information we have right now, which can obviously change if there's drastic enough development. Also, I don't care in the slightest that NetEase is the publisher. This has nothing to do with my opinions on the game. I'll boil my problems with Ananta to one core issue. The game has no unique core identity. The only repeating theme I see is that it looks good. That's it. I'm going to start by breaking down what the trailers display and what I think of it. The extended gameplay trailer is an uncut sequence from what I presume to be the intro mission to the game. There's a bunch of things that happen, such as high-speed chases, QTE events, brawler combat, and some scenic shots of the city. Let's start with the protagonist. He has some kind of ability to summon a slimy black arm and make it stick to things or propel himself to it. There's a scene where he slams down into a group of thugs and starts beating them up Arkham Knight style. Let me just first dispel something immediately. Stealth gameplay, or at least in any late-game challenge content, is out of the question. Stealth can never be a core gameplay feature in a gacha game. What use is upgrading your characters and grinding for RNG relics if you could just swoop in and one-shot components? At most, you might get some stealth mechanics during the main story missions or daily commissions. But that's it. One thing I do think there's a lot of potential is the brawler-style combat. Granted, it doesn't look the most polished right now, but I do want to see a gacha game where the brawler mechanics are more realistic and doesn't try to wow you with all these overly elaborate flashy animations. From what I can see, this is the core gameplay of Ananta. You can kind of expand on it with weapons and other tools, but if the brawler combat is what the game is all about, then I'd say this is the most realistic portion of the trailer that will be representative of the actual game. The main protagonist can also use his slimy black arm to sling himself across the city. I don't need to remind you what game this is reminiscent of. Alongside the map on the lower left corner, the character switching where the camera pans into the sky and goes into the other characters, you can see that the game borrows a lot of reference materials from other games. The most blatant example I can see is the car chase sequence where the protagonist hangs to the truck using the slimy arm, which is frame by frame copied from Uncharted. People see this as a GTA gacha game, or how it's so brilliant that the game is able to achieve so many different things all at once. And I'm just here thinking, so what exactly does it bring to the table? I just see a mishmash of so many things packed into one. Instead of copying popular media, how about coming up with your own unique ideas? If the core of the gameplay is copying others' ideas, it sure is doing a fantastic job of that. It almost makes me think, so what else are you gonna copy? By trying to be everything, the game becomes nothing. I just don't get how someone is supposed to find this creatively impressive. So you were given a bit of time to play by yourself at the exhibition, and you could free roam around the city, do some activities like going to the gym or customizing your outfit. I sure hope that cosmetics are earnable in-game, but I have a feeling they're gonna sell some as premium. Not that I really have a problem with that. I want you to look up every single user-submitted gameplay demo of Ananta and compare it to the official gameplay trailer. Where can you see any of the sites that was displayed? Where are the moments where you can kick goons outside the back of the truck on a high-speed chase? Where can you play the espionage missions where you send a drone through a vent to infiltrate a building? I think something that a lot of people forget is that Ananta is a live service mobile game. It's meant to be played every day. If you thought scanning NPCs for any criminals or mashing a button to perform reps at a gym is a cool gimmick, I'm afraid that this is what you'll be doing every single day for as long as you play this game. The gameplay trailer is a heavily scripted sequence that doesn't represent your daily experiences. What I want to see is how your daily routines of playing Ananta will be like. What does the stamina system look like? How are you going to level up your characters or abilities? Are there going to be daily missions that you have to knock out? What about RNG relics? They mentioned that there's no character gacha, so what about anything else? Is there a stamina system, battle pass, premium cosmetics, gacha skins or weapons? It doesn't have gacha. Okay, that's very nice. So how in the world are you gonna monetize? This is a free game, right? Aside from this single statement, we have no other idea how NetEase plans to run things. The point of trailers is to get me excited about the game, except I just don't see anything for me to get excited about. If the game is a single-player $60 ACG-style GTA, I'd say, it looks great. I'm sure people would buy it, and I might even check it out. The thing is that Ananta is a free-to-play mobile game. You're expected to play this game every day indefinitely. The thing about live service games is that you'll eventually run out of curated content, and your daily routine is to grind material drops using stamina, doing endgame builds and challenges, and waiting for new content to be drip-fed to you. The trailers and gameplay demo tells me nothing about what the daily routines look like. Now, maybe I'm to the point where open world fatigue has set in, but I just don't want to play another open world gacha. I know this is technically not a gacha game anymore, but I just don't have the faith and confidence I'll have enough to judge Ananta as a mobile game at the moment. What we can only see right now is what they want us to see, and right now, I'm not impressed. Obviously, if I was a developer, I'd leave as many of these live service elements out of the final release of the game as I can, just so I don't have to show any of my true colors until everyone's hyped up for the launch. The overall tone of the game I also find to be kinda uninspiring. You don't get the sense that the world of Ananta is dark and foreboding, and that the animations and graphics suggest a lighter, casual atmosphere. I honestly can only count with the fingers on one hand the number of gacha games that try to go for a heavier tone and mood. I want to see characters that are complex, multifaceted, and morally dubious to make me question if they're good or evil. If you want me to feel invested in a gacha game's world building, give me something like another Arknights. Give me another Limbus Company. Give me another long and continuous overarching story with many moving parts and deep political and philosophical turmoils, like Girls Frontline. The first one, not the second one. This game feels like what the CEO of a large publishing company that has no grasp of gaming thinks what makes a good mobile game. They saw the big market with GTA Online and wanted a slice of it. I see Ananta as a massive PR stunt, and I think most of the content portrayed in the current trailers will not be reflective of the final product. I genuinely don't think it's possible to create this vibrant city where you're always running into new stuff. I predict that just like Neverness to Everness, only select portions of the city will be explorable. You're not going to be able to cling to a skyscraper and see workers having a meeting inside. You're not going to be seeing all these high-intensity car chases every day. GTA, but anime style, is just not appealing to me. All you did was recreate games that I've already played. Why am I just not loading up Spider-Man on the PS4 and get the exact same experience, except every single mission and event is curated and doesn't have any player retention techniques to limit my daily playtime and monetize further? Anyways, based on the existing footage, this looks like a skip for me. Of course, if future development advances, things can obviously change. If you're looking forward to it, that is great. I hope you have fun when Ananta comes out in a year or so. But if you have any different thoughts, let me know what you think.